On the news, President Buhari meets security chiefs, gives December deadline to consolidate gains recorded. Court orders INEC to accept Akpabio as APC senatorial candidate for Akwa Ibom Northwest. And the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency says over 34 million Nigerians fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Well, it's good to have you join us on News Now. I am Mary Kanu. We begin the news with security matters as President Muhammadu Buhari has met with security chiefs, including over managers in the security value chain, where he commended them on recent feats achieved in taming issues of banditry and kidnapping in the country. The president, who presided over the Security Council meeting at his office in the presidential villa, however, told them to consolidate on the gains achieved so far before December this year. Briefing State House correspondents at the end of the meeting, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, said the president was particularly pleased with the Nigeria Police Force for maintaining high professionalism during the conduct of gubernatorial elections in Ekiti, Osun, and Anambra states.
The Council is very satisfied with the performances of all our security chiefs, the military, the police, and other agencies, security agencies. We are happy with their performance and the gains recorded so far. We are moving to the phase of consolidation of all those gains, so that by December, as ordered by the chairman of the council, the president, and which we have said to all Nigerians before now, that will put essentially most of the challenges of banditry, particularly insurgency, kidnapping for ransom, criminalities of that nature, far, far behind us. We are equally pleased with the performance of the Nigeria Police on the elections in Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun. Those elections have demonstrated our commitment to democracy and expression of the will of the people at the polls.
Aregbesola also revealed that the Security Council meeting deliberated on the activities of a National Task Force and NATFORCE on the prohibition of illegal importation and smuggling of arms, ammunition, light weapons, chemical weapons, and pipeline vandalism, accusing it of impersonating security personnel in over similar agencies. The minister said NATFORCE is not known by Nigerian law and therefore should disband itself or face a forceful ban.
The National Task Force to combat illegal importation of goods, small arms, ammunition, and light weapons is an illegal body. There was never a time the Nigerian government set it up with any legislative instrument or power. So, what I've come here to tell Nigerians through you is that the body should simply disband itself or risk being forcibly so disbanded by all security agencies. It's unknown to Nigerian law and is therefore illegal. It does not have any power at all to operate, and it has been illegal all the while. But we are now reinforcing the fact that it's an illegal organization that does not have to operate anywhere in Nigeria. It should just simply phase out itself or risk being forcibly disbanded by all security agencies.
Well, to electoral matters, Justice Emeka Wiche of the Federal High Court Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to accept and publish the name of Godswill Akpabio as the candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC for Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District in the 2023 general election. Delivering judgment, Justice Wiche held that INEC acted illegally for refusing to accept and publish Akpabio's name even when it was sent to it by the APC as its candidate. Justice Wite added that Akpabio was validly nominated as the Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District candidate of the APC from the primary conducted by the party's National Working Committee on June 9, 2022. The judge also declared that INEC cannot publish any other name or particulars of any other candidate as candidate of the APC for the Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District elections, except as nominated, submitted and received from the party. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, says lack of capacity and expertise has slowed down the Commission's efforts to tackle vote buying and other electoral offences in Nigeria. Mahmood made the statement in Lagos at the Commission's retreat on the Ekiti and Osun off-cycle governorship elections. The INEC chairman warned that it had become imperative for Nigeria to establish an Electoral Offences Commission to collaborate with the Commission to check electoral fraud and other related crimes. Well, more details in this next report. Vote buying, legitimacy crisis, violence and other electoral frauds has characterized elections across Nigeria in the last 2 decades. But after conducting 2 successful governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun State in July 2022, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has organized a retreat to appraise the off-cycle exercises.
The 2 elections were indeed a litmus test for the Commission, as they were conducted using the new 2022 Electoral Act and 2022 Guidelines and Regulations for Conduct of Elections, among others.
Chairman of the Commission, Mahmood Yakubu, however, admits that due to exploration in voter population, the conduct and management of electoral processes have become more complex.
Managing the forthcoming general election is huge. The voter population, the number of polling units, election personnel, security considerations, logistics, and so on are simply enormous.
As at July 2022, INEC completed the continuous voter registration exercise and is now in the process of cleaning up using the automated biometric identification system and has delisted 1.1 million fresh registrants for invalid registration.
For the first 2 quarters of the last CVR, for the period covering the 26th of June 2021 and the end of the year, December 2021, we subjected the data to the automated biometric identification system, the ABIS, using both the fingerprint and the facial. And we weeded out over 1 million people who were not supposed to register, but they registered. We are right now doing the same thing, covering the period January to the end of July 2022, when we suspended the current CVR exercise, or the last CVR exercise. Therefore, this is going to continue.
With the 2023 general elections less than 6 months away, the Electoral Commission has stressed that it is ready to work with relevant security agencies to improve elections in the country and would continue to work with anti-graft agencies, particularly the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria. The coalition of federal capital support groups says it will organize a mega million march for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed. The group, at a press briefing in Abuja, says the emergence of Peter Obi and his running mate has renewed their faith in the country, and they believe that the ticket will address the many challenges of the country.
The political arena has become a free-for-all for all kinds of characters who at each turn of the political wheel hold their interests above the common interest, instituting a deliberate, mindless plundering of our commonwealth. With total disregard for merit, accountability, and fair play, they have bequeathed our country a legacy of corruption, making it one of the most corrupt capitals of the world. What more? They have made poverty into a weapon to keep our people perpetually in need of their crumbs. There is no gainsaying the fact that the hope of the country, of our countrymen, has been awoken by their candidacy, giving rise to what has now been christened the Obidati movement, a national cry for national reorientation and restoration, peaceful coexistence, and national progress. Millions of Nigerians across age, ethnic, religious, and economic divides have marched in various parts of the country in support of the movement. The self-sponsored Mega Million March organized by friends, lovers, and advocates of the Obidati movement are a clear message to all Nigerians that the youth have surrendered themselves wholeheartedly as a structure needed to win the 2023 general election as a victory for the people.
I'm here because I believe in what my children are doing. I'm here to lend support to the movement. I'm here as a father. Whenever they need my advice, whenever they need my guidance, I'm always around.
There is good news for Nigeria's oil and gas sector as the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, TV360 Silva, announced that the country's biggest refinery will become functional by December. The minister made the announcement while briefing State House correspondents after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. In his address, Silva explained that the Port Harcourt refinery, which was shut in March 2019 for rehabilitation, will be functional by December, adding that work is also in progress in other refineries in the country. Our correspondent Abisola Adebayo has the details in this next report.
This is Nigeria's biggest government-run oil refinery in the city of Port Harcourt. Like others in different parts of the country, most of its operations have been shut down for the past 2 years to allow government to upgrade the equipment and facility. Giving updates about the progress of work on the refinery, TV360 Silva, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, while speaking to journalists after the Federal Executive Council meeting earlier in the week, says the old Port Harcourt refinery will become functional by the end of 2022.
Old refinery in Port Harcourt, which is about 60,000 barrels per day capacity, will be functional by December. And of course, we still have some time in the contracting time to conclude the rest of Port Harcourt refinery. Work in Kaduna and Warri refineries is also progressing very well. We will soon be embarking on an inspection visit.
Also at the meeting, the Council approved a national policy on the enforcement of financial regulations in government agencies.
The purpose of the policy memorandum was to seek better enforcement of the financial regulations of government, especially the revised 2009 regulations with regards to valuation process for plants, equipment, land, property, and machinery, and also how they are disposed of when they reach the end of life. This policy memo is premised against the context of the Executive Order 11 that enthrones maintenance as a conscious government policy.
On his part, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, says the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, got approval for the provision of engineering infrastructure to Wassa Affordable Housing District in the Federal Capital Territory.
And the argumentation was in the sum of 28 billion, 117 million, 904,027 naira. The initial contract for that project was awarded in 2014 at the sum of 56 billion. But as time went by and due to inflation and so many other factors, we had to vary the contract and the price to reflect current reality.
I talked to Dr.
Meanwhile,
Peter Chin-Hong
in a
today
bid to
from
boost
UCSF,
Nigeria's
and he says
vaccine
the
production
results
capacity, FEC also approved the process of indigenization of vaccine production in the country, which sees Nigeria's biovaccine collaborate with the Serum Institute of India to build a manufacturing plant in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
And the General Manager, Lagos State Building Control Agency, Gbolahan Owodunioki, has directed owners and developers of buildings under construction that have exceeded the approved building plan to revert to the original plan approved and granted to them by the state government. This directive of the General Manager of the agency was conveyed through the Director of Enforcement, Olusoji Olokpa, during the agency's routine monitoring and enforcement exercise carried out at Etiosa and Surulere areas of the state. Oki, who emphasized the need for strict adherence to the new directives by property owners and developers, said the move by the government is meant to compel compliance to building approvals as part of strategies to nip in the bud the menace of building collapse in the state. He also reiterated the need for other relevant agencies and professional bodies in the building industry to come on board and help the government stem the tides of building collapse in the state with professional inputs. Well, we'll take a break now, but still to come, Nigeria's inflation rate surges to 20.52%, highest in 17 years. We'll bring the details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. A recap now of our top stories. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari has met with security chiefs, including other managers in the security value chain, where he commended them on recent feats achieved in taming issues of banditry and kidnapping in the country. The president, who presided over the Security Council meeting at his office in the presidential villa, however, told them to consolidate on the gains achieved so far before December this year. We also told you that Justice Emeka Rite of the Federal High Court Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to accept and publish the name of Godswill Akpabio as the candidate of the All Progressives Congress for Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District in the 2023 general election. Delivering judgment, Justice Rite held that INEC acted illegally for refusing to accept and publish Akpabio's name even when it was sent to it by the APC as its candidate. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency says more than 34 million Nigerians have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The executive director of the agency, Faisal Shuaib, made this known while receiving 604,800 doses of Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines donated by MTN Nigeria. Shuaib, who was represented by Director of Disease Control and Immunization, Basi Oposen, at the agency, said 47 million persons, representing 42.2% of the eligible population, have received one dose of the vaccine, while 34 million persons, representing 30.6% of the eligible population, have received two doses and are fully vaccinated. He added that 3 million of the fully vaccinated persons have received a booster shot and called on all eligible Nigerians who are yet to be vaccinated to do so in order to prevent themselves from severe illness due to COVID-19. We'll take another break and return with business updates, so stay with us. Welcome back. Abisola Adebayo is standing by with business updates. Abisola, there's been a new development with the country's inflation rates. Can you tell us more?
Well, that's very correct, Mary. Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's inflation has surged to 20.52% in August 2022, up from 19.64% in the previous month, the highest since October 2005. The National Bureau of Statistics said this in its Consumer Price Index report for August 2022 released on Thursday. According to NBS, the rate was 3.52% higher than 17.01% recorded in August 2021. The report also added that food inflation rose to 23.12% in August 2022 on a year-on-year basis, representing a 2.82% increase when compared to 20.30% in August 2021. According to the MBS, the rise in food inflation was caused by increases in prices of bread and cereals, food products, potatoes, yam, and other tubers, fish, meat, oil, and fat. But we'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. The bear continued its dominance on the floor of the NGX during trading on Thursday. The little victory that the bull witnessed on Tuesday was short-lived, no thanks to continued profit-taking by investors, and that loss from Wednesday spilled over to Thursday. At the close of trading today, the all-share index declined by 0.07% to close at 49,540 basis points. 19 billion naira was also deducted from the market capitalization to close at 26 trillion naira here. On the list of stocks that led the market on a downward trajectory today, UACM PLC and Vitafoam led the losers counter as they recorded a combined 2 naira loss at the close of trading. On the flip side, as our gainers list for today, Sovereign Inns and Cadbury on top of the gainers counter with just 36 kobo increase. Well, our market summary here says that 167 million units of shares valued at 1.2 billion naira exchanged hands in 3,458 deals. Well, it didn't end so good today, but looking at it from the other side, this may be a good entry point for investors, especially long-term investors looking for cheap stocks to put their money on. But then we'll remain optimistic and see if the market closes in the positive tomorrow. On the foreign scene, the FTSE rebounded at the close to finish slightly ahead. Stocks were better on news of a special budget from new Chancellor Kwesi Kwarteng. Meanwhile, in the US, consumer caution lingers on, according to analysts, despite today's retail sales data beating expectations. Japan stocks Nikkei is the same with the FTSE as it ended in a positive today, recording a 0.21% increase at the close of trading. That's all on Stock Market Report. Back to you, Mary, for the rest of the news.
Well, many thanks for the update, Abisola. Moving on now to the global scene. Fuel prices have risen once again in Kenya after the government partially removed subsidies that cushioned consumers from the global hike in oil prices. The energy regulator said it had removed the subsidy for super petrol while retaining a smaller subsidy for diesel and kerosene. This comes after President William Ruto called fuel and food subsidies costly and ineffective in his inaugural speech on Tuesday. Ruto had said that Kenya was in a deep economic hole and repeated his pledge to lower the cost of living as a priority upon taking office. And now in sports, policemen numbering almost 20 have taken over the office of the League Management Company, LMC, in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, Ismaila Abubakar, had last week announced the withdrawal of the government's recognition of the LMC. He had explained that the decision was taken in view of the several unpleasant incidents regarding the management of the Football League. The government also directed the Nigeria Football Federation to set up an interim management committee to run the league pending the time the clubs will run it themselves. Well, to speak more on this, Jide Olaniran, sports analyst, joins me now. It's good to have you join me on the news. Now, the League Management Company has been in existence since 2012 and was issued a license to operate, but now it has been tagged illegal. Well, can you bring us up to speed with the underlying issues here?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary. The underlying issues has been the fact that the LMC has been dogged with so much controversy, right from when it started in 2012 rather. And in 2012, I remember that there were this accusation that those who actually started the LMC were not the people that were expected to start it. There were so much argument back and forth on who has the authority to set up the LMC as at when it started. So the issue that has snowballed to the present crisis that we are witnessing now is as a result of power play. It has always been about power play right from the beginning. I remember that there were a lot of accusations about those who own shares in the LMC when it started. And up till now, that particular accusation has trailed the LMC till date. But just to discuss about what happened recently, I remember that when this minister, the minister, Sunday Dare, came in, one of the things he frowned at was the fact that he wasn't comfortable with the way the local league was run, or is being run by the LMC. So then we knew that he was on a collision course with those who were already managing the LMC. So from what has happened in the last few days, what we are seeing is a part also between those who feel that the LMC is not doing what is right, and they feel that the LMC is not operating according by the acceptable standard, by global norms. Like, for example, if you are going to set up an LMC is supposed to comprise those who are club owners, but it's conflicting really, because you don't know where. Because if you look at the clubs that we have in Nigeria, about 80% or even 90% of the league, the Premier League sides or the professional league sides are run by governments. So if you expect club owners, as in quotes, genuine club owners, to come run the LMC, that means we have to do a kind of rejuvenation, or we are expected to do an overhaul of the ownership of the clubs that we have now. Because the only way, I understand that a lot of people expect Nigeria to be like the Premier League in England and maybe the La Liga. The only way we can get there is when we have private investors running football, unlike what we have here, where it's government that is running most of those clubs, state governments that are running most of those clubs.
I'm afraid I would have to cut you here, but Jide Olaniro, sport analyst, thank you for joining us on the news, for your time and contribution. Thank you. Well, moving on, still in sports, Nigeria's gold medalist Tobi Amusan and other athletes have been honored by President Muhammadu Buhari for their spectacular performances at several international competitions. The ceremony, presided over by President Buhari, saw the Commander-in-Chief splash 200 million naira for Team Nigeria contingents to the 2022 Commonwealth Games and World Athletics Championships and confer national honors on them. Addressing the athletes at the banquet hall of the State House in Abuja, President Buhari said his administration is committed to rewarding excellence, adding that the athletes beamed the radar of the world on Nigeria and their exploits have gone a long way in projecting the positive image of the country.
That was amazing, to be honest. I was expecting something like MFR, but I got a double portion. I'm happy, I'm excited. Thanks to the President.
Well, that's the size of our news bulletin this evening. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Mary Kanu. But for now.